Family get-togethers in Eastern Kentucky are a common occurrence. Tonight I'm going to be hosting a cookout for my brother and his family who came home to visit for the weekend. So I thought I would share with you the dessert that I'm planning for tonight. It's peach cobbler. It's quick, it's easy, and it is so delicious. Okay, so I have my hair pulled up and an apron on and I'm ready to bake. So the first thing that I need to do for my easy peach cobbler is I need to preheat my oven, and into that oven I put a 9x13 pan with a stick of butter inside that pan to be melting. Just like that. So I put it there, and now I'm going to stick that in the oven. So I always use the traditional Cuppa method. It is simply a cup of milk, a cup of sugar, and a cup of self-rising flour that you mix together, and I pour it over my fruit. So I'm going to get my melted butter out of the oven. It just came to temperature a minute ago, and I'm going to check to make sure that all the butter is melted into the pan, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I'm going to take my butter out of the oven. One thing that I do like to do is to let that butter brown just ever so slightly. I love browned butter, and if you've ever cooked with brown butter, you know why. It adds just a layer of deliciousness to things. So recently I decided to start letting my butter brown just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to get started cutting my peaches. There is no right or wrong way to cut up a peach, but I just usually like to peel it first. I peel my peach. Okay. Oh, it smells so good. Then when I get the butter out, I'm going to show you, I just cut it into chunks. I don't necessarily slice it, but I just cut it into big chunks so that when you get a bite of the cobbler, you're going to get a piece of fruit. Okay, so you can see that my butter is golden brown. It's not burnt, but it does have just a little bit of a brown golden tinge to it. All I do is I peel a peach straight into the pan. I cut it. The thing about peach cobbler, everybody wants a bite of peach when they take a bite of cobbler. Doesn't matter if it's perfect. I just peel it and I chunk it up straight into the butter. Plus, that way I can kind of tell, does it need more? There is no exact measurement for how many peaches or how much fruit you use. It really just depends. Sometimes if you don't have a whole lot of fruit, you can stretch it by maybe cutting them into smaller chunks. Sometimes if you have a ton of fruit, you can really add it and have a lot of fruit in your cobbler. I've even doubled the cobbler part of it. It gets very crispy and chewy on the edges. So you can see I'm just chunking it. I'm not slicing it into perfect little peach slices. You can do that if you wanted to, but I just like it. This is the part that makes it so quick and easy. There is no perfect way to do this cobbler. The juicier the peach, the better. And that's another reason why I like to cut it over the butter, because as the juice comes out, I can let it drop down into the butter, flavor it a little bit better. Now, I do mine differently because I've seen a lot of people who put their cobbler batter in first, then the peaches. I don't know if this is something that really has a right or wrong way, but for some reason, I like my fruit on the bottom swimming in that butter. I guess maybe it just depends on the way that your mother did it or your grandmother, because some people absolutely pour the cobbler in first and then put fruit on top of the cobbler mix, but I just prefer. Okay, let's chunk that up just a little bit. I think maybe one more peach. One more delicious peach in here. Now, you can also do this with blackberries, cherries. I even, because I can so much during the summer, I can lots of fruit. I have even opened like canned fruit and used canned fruit. Or if you just buy like cherry pie filling or apple pie filling, you can just use that too. It's very forgiving, depending on whatever fruit you have available or what you want to use. Fresh fruit, of course, is best, but if you just have a can of apple pie filling and you want to make apple cobbler, go for it. All right, that's about how many peaches I want in this cobbler. And then I'm going to show you how I make the batter. Okay, now I'm going to mix up the batter. The batter is the easiest thing in the world to put together. Okay, to a good sized mixing bowl, I put a cup of self-rising flour, a cup of sugar. Like I said, my sugar is organic, so it looks brown. It's not brown sugar, it's just white sugar, but it is pure cane sugar, so it looks dark. I usually just stir that up just a little to kind of break up the big clumps. Then I put 1 cup of milk. Okay, and I just mix my batter together. It does not need to be completely mixed. As a matter of fact, when I mix this, I like to leave lots of big lumps in this batter. I think it makes it crisp up just a little bit, and when it bakes, I don't know, there's just something about those lumps in this batter that turn out to be so delicious. So you want it to look about like that. I don't know if you can see. This is the way your batter should look. And do you see how I still have lots of lumps left in there? I'm going to take my batter and I'm going to pour it over my fruit. And from here, sometimes I will spread out the batter just a little, just to even it out some. And then I put it back in the oven. All right, so that cobbler will bake for between 35 and 45 minutes. Cobbler is finished. I'm gonna pull it out and let you see how delicious it looks. Okay, so here's the cobbler fresh out of the oven. You can see the delicious golden brown crust of this delicious cobbler. Everyone is going to be so excited for this tonight. Okay, so I'm going to try just a little corner piece. Wow, that looks so good. Okay, so I have to try just a little bite of it. Thank you so much for stopping by Curvy Creek Farm today. I'm looking forward to my cookout tonight. I love having my family all around. If you haven't, I hope you subscribe to our channel and give us a follow on Facebook at Curvy Creek Farm, where we do a lot of updates daily about our farm life. Thank you for stopping by Curvy Creek Farm, where you're always going to find simple living in a busy world.